Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourself, cause your boy is angry. I originally wasn't thinking about doing a video about this, but since it irritates me so much, I figured why not. As of August 17th, Dodge decided to officially sell out. The Charger and the Challenger are being discontinued for 2024 in favor of this EV hunk of junk piece of garbage, just schlock. I have seen a lot of very famous car names get destroyed over the years, but holy moly does this take the cake for absolute badge slaughter. So now, if y'all are ready, I will now explain to you why this thing unequivocally sucks and is probably one of the worst things that I have ever seen come out of the 21st century automotive-wise. Firstly, let's start with the looks. Oh my heavens, I can see where they were trying to go with it, but the whole roofline is just a total disaster. Someone looked at a porpoise and was like, you know, we can do that but with a car. Why does the roof look like it was transplanted from a Ford Crown Vic onto a Dodge Charger body? It's hideous. Well, I can tell you why it has such an awful design to it. That's because they made this thing a dang hatchback. Never should you ever go from a conventional trunk to a hatchback with a car like this. It's very clear that they're trying to capture the look of the late 60s Charger, but last time I checked, the late 60s Charger actually has a proper trunk. Also, don't you just love that front spoiler that's above where an actual grille would be? Now they say it's for the performance. Well, guess what? It looks hideous. It's like you forgot to finish the car and you just left these blank spots in the blueprint and they're like, well, they left it blank, so I assume nothing's supposed to go there. It's awful. Now, yes, I can all hear you screaming that there's no point of having a grille on an EV. Well, if that's the case, then explain to me why half the EVs these companies are making are trying to look like they have grills on them. The rims are also a special breed of brain hurt, as they look like the kind of thing that you would find in the bottom of a food blender. Not to mention the interior is just that lovely, revolting, stale, sterile interior that we've become so used to in modern cars. They tried to give the interior flair by adding all these little lights to it, but the materials and just the way it's all put together still just gives that safe look to it that's just ugh. And also, I'm calling it now, so if in the future, if this indeed happens, you can say that Table Size told you so. I am calling it right now that when this car reaches production, it will not be a two-door. I am calling it right now. It will be a four-door when it reaches production, because Dodge has already proven that they don't have the guts to keep going with gas engines, so I don't believe they have the guts to keep building two-doors. There you have it. Oh yes, the lovely second point of this here rant. The noise. How much shame do you have to have in your product being an electric vehicle that you have to come up with a fake engine sound to play over to convince people that it's a muscle car and not, indeed, completely inferior to the gas version it's replacing? And clearly, whoever they got to do the sound design for this car clearly works on mobile games, because oh my, just listen to this. The thing sounds like a supercharged vacuum cleaner. In fact, my good friend, Mr. Bloodbrother, who has a YouTube channel, shameless plug, said that it sounded like they recorded Mufasa from The Lion King as he fell. The least you could have done is gotten Criterion Games to do your engine sounds, because at least they know what a proper engine is supposed to sound like. They can make an engine that sounds really cool. But no, you went and fired up the Hoover and recorded it with your flipping Nokia. I think what is a definite sign that we are living in the post-gearhead era is the fact that there are people who unironically think that this sounds cool. Now, I know what some of you out there are gonna say.
Mr. Table Size, everyone's allowed to have their own tastes and interests.
Well, yes, I am aware of that, but I am here to officially tell you that your taste sucks. In fact, I would highly recommend right now that you go to YouTube and familiarize yourself with what a proper engine sounds like. Now, my third point on this video is the stupid gimmicks this thing has. For one, why does an EV need a shifter? EVs really only technically need 2 gears, forward and reverse. By having it to where you're supposedly shifting, you are actively reducing the efficiency of the electric motors. That, of course, is aside from the fact that you're not really shifting at all. It's a simulated shift because this vehicle really does not have an actual gearbox. Another really dumb gimmick of this whole thing is regarding the shifting of the gears. They're supposedly reintroducing a pistol grip shifter. The problem is this looks nothing like a pistol grip at all. In fact, it just looks like a piece of Play-Doh that a child has formed on top of the gear shift. Either that, or it's a defective shifter that rolled off the line for either the Challenger or the Charger, and they just kind of bolted it on there, and they're like, oh, it looks close enough to a pistol grip. I imagine this feature will not reach production, as many of the advocacy groups will be very upset that Dodge had the audacity to include a pistol grip shifter. You're promoting violence. Ay, ay, ay. Now, here's the third one, which I'm not sure many people actually realize, but if you look at the doors, Dodge has clearly decided to go the absolute maximum stupid route and not have proper door handles. Yes, they went to the Elon Musk school of designing the most overcomplicated door handle you can think of. And most unreliable, may I add. Fourthly, as I already made you aware, they are pumping fake engine sounds through it using the, and I quote, fratzonic chambered exhaust system. Or as any normal person calls it, a big ol' Bose speaker. Well, needless to say, this creates a problem because most people who buy EVs want them to be quiet. And that's one of the only reasons that I can really justify someone buying an EV, is that you want a car that's nice and quiet. Not many people who buy EVs want them to be ear-splittingly loud, specifically 128 decibels loud. Well, it's clear to me that this video is already getting pretty long, so I should probably just go ahead and wrap it up with this. This is just further evidence that we are living in the post-peak era of the American auto industry. They used to make cars that were fun and lively, different from the rest of the crowd, especially you, Dodge, but now they've just all sold out in order to keep their share prices high and the cash coming in. It's a real shame if you think about it. Anyway, the message of the video: reject modernity, embrace tradition.